folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is a Hugo Awards video. So I was originally planning on doing a Friday reads this weekend, but then entirely forgot on Friday. And I suppose I could have done a what I'm reading this weekend thing, but I honestly went to exercise class for the first time in over a month on Saturday morning, and then I've just been tired and sort of sore since. So, and there's been a lot of stuff happening sports-wise, like Formula 1 and hockey and stuff. So, yeah, I just entirely forgot. Had to very, very quickly think of something else I could film for this weekend. But I then remembered that during the week, I finally paid up my supporting membership for the Worldcon, which is in Glasgow this year, so that I can vote in the Hugo Awards, because I missed it last year for the first time since I started doing it. Oh, so many years ago. It must be a good 10 years at least since I've been voting in the Hugo Awards. Pre Sad Puppies. It's been a while, but I forgot last year. I was sort of not sure if I wanted to do it because I was hearing a lot of different things about supporting the fact that the Worldcon was in China and human rights stuff, and like I didn't know enough about it to really have an opinion, but also I just wasn't sure. And then I just forgot to sign up for my membership, so I didn't get around to doing it. I didn't actually vote in the Hugo Awards, so I didn't do my Hugo reading, which means there was a lot of short stories and stuff that I would usually read during the year that I didn't, which is probably one of the reasons why I had to suddenly read like 5 things in the last few days of the year to hit my goal. Anyway, this year I have actually remembered finally to sign up, and voting has just opened. I got the email today, I think, saying voting has opened. The Hugo packet's not out yet, which is, the Hugo packet is where they send registered voters a link, and you can download whatever material the nominees have put in the packet to help you vote. So sometimes it's the entire work, sometimes it's a sample of the work, but it's a really good way of getting access to things for free that you, well, not technically for free because you have to pay a supporting membership, but access to things that you might not easily be able to access to vote. So this year I am voting, which means I have Hugo reading to do. So I have printed out my list, which is like 5 pages long, or something like that. I won't read everything. I never read everything. At bare minimum, I usually manage the 3 short fiction categories. So best novella, best novelette, and best short story. I have already marked a few things off. One of the novellas, because I really love Nevo's Singing Hill Cycle series, and so I have already read Mammoths at the Gate. And as usually, I have already read a few of the Uncanny Magazine nominated stories. Not actually all of them, because I'm only halfway through last year's issues. But I've read the P. Jelly Clark's short story, How to Raise a Kraken in Your Bathtub. I have read The Mausoleum's Children by Elliot de Boddard, actually quite recently, because that was the one that I've read this month. And I have read Wildman's Treasure by Sarah Pinsker in the novelette category. So I don't entirely remember that one. I'll have to look up and see if I made notes. That's the problem with when I read short fiction, is often I don't remember. But anyway, so I've read those. I've also marked off a few things, like a couple of episodes of Doctor Who in the short form dramatic presentation category. Really happy to see Doctor Who back on that list. So usually, like I said, usually I manage to read the 3 short fiction categories. Sometimes I'll try some of the novels. I don't know much about most of the ones that are on this year's list. I also don't know much about the ones that are on the Lodestar Award for Young Adult this year, which I have also in the past attempted. But I might try and read a few of those, because I was able to find one of them as an ebook loan from my local library. So I've put a hold on that. It's out at the moment. And that is the Garth Nix one, which I know I actually like Garth Nix. I've read 2 of his standalone novels, Frog Kisser and Newt's Emerald. I really liked them. They're really funny and really awesome. So I'm hoping I'm really going to like his, there's something or other. What is it? Something Booksellers of Bath, which Okay, sounds totally my thing. The Sinister Booksellers of Bath. Yeah, totally sounds up my alley. There's also a P. Shirley Clarke book, which I haven't been able to get a hold of yet. I think there's a version on Amazon, but I'm not sure if it's actually a Kindle ebook. I remember looking at it and going, it might be hard to get hold of. But I would like to, because I like P. Shirley Clarke. So I might try the young adult category at least, and I'll at least have a look at what I can get a hold of. I think if I have time, of the best novel, because like I know some of the names on it, but I absolutely know nothing about these books that are on this list. So might be a good surprise if I can manage to get through them. But essentially, there are some categories where when I do a really quick vote on, because stuff like the professional artist and fan artist categories, I'm the kind of person who I know when I see a piece of visual art whether I like it or not. And so I can do a really quick run through of whatever samples they've put in the voters packet and decide which ones I want to vote for. I might have a look at some of the dramatic presentation categories. It depends on how much time I have. For example, I actually kind of want to watch the Barbie movie. I've just not gotten around to it. There are others that I don't really know much about. Graphic novel can be a pretty easy one to get through, although I'm way behind on Saga. They're up to volume 11 now, and I'm probably not going to read that because I stopped reading Saga a while ago because it just wasn't really my thing. I wasn't enjoying it. I was reading it yearly for the graphic novel category and just not enjoying it. So we'll see what turns up there. Yeah, so essentially that's me just saying I'm gonna give the Hugo Awards a go again, having missed last year, and hopefully read some really interesting things. There's a lot of translated from Chinese works on here, mostly I think because last year's Worldcon members can nominate in this year without having to buy a new membership. So there's a lot of Chinese fans who are nominating this year, and probably a lot of non-Chinese fans who were members last year who have then gotten access and read some of the stuff they've heard talked about, yeah, nominated it. So that's going to be really interesting, reading some of that. But yeah, Hugo Awards, I'm doing it again. Hopefully making this video will actually keep me honest about it, so I can actually tell you in my Friday reads and my weekly wrap-ups, monthly wrap-ups, that I am actually reading some Hugo stuff. Like I said, the voters pack is not out yet, so I'm going to wait and see what's in that. Although I might continue reading Uncanny Magazine, because there's at least one more Uncanny Magazine story that I haven't read from the November to December issue, which I've just finished the what's it called? The May to June one. So as I continue reading last year's Uncanny, fingers crossed, I'll come across that story. But yeah, so definitely I think Hugo Awards this year. Let's see how much of the shortlist I can get consumed. Yeah, keep me honest. And do that by liking, subscribing, commenting down below if you want to talk about stuff on the Hugo shortlist. Don't give me any spoilers, but if you think there's something that I would really like that you've read, let me know, and I might prioritize that. And I will see you all again really soon. Bye.